Abyss Worm, the 1-cost monster cycle for Earth. When it enters the field, choose one forward. It gets plus 3k Brave. Damage 3 becomes a 7k. We've said all we want to say about these. Do you want to rank it, or do we want to move on? Like I said, we saw the best one.
I'd probably place this one at third. Just because,
Yeah.
like, 3k and Brave for one, like, that's not bad.
Yeah, and with a potential 7k coming up.
Yeah, I mean, it helps you to sort of go over the top of things, so I'd rate it in that. I'd rate it good in that sense, but that's really about it. It's it's there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It gets a podium spot.
Speaking of EX bursts, 2-cost Alexander EX burst summon. Choose one forward you control and up to one forward opponent controls. Until end of turn, the former gains plus 3 power, and this forward cannot become dull by opponent summons or abilities. If you have received 5 points of damage, also deal the latter damage equal to the highest power forward you control. I don't think they gave it enough stuff to do. Like, I think it can do more for 2 EX bursts, right?
Yeah, clearly.
I just find this card incredibly funny. Like, it's at 5 points of damage. It happens to be Titan plus anti-ice.
Yeah, anti.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like it's one of those cards which just says, ice says no. I say no to ice, and you've got me at 5 points of damage because you aggroed me out. Not only am I saying no to ice, I'm also killing your best thing.
You're also kind of saying no to lightning as well, because they got a bit dull.
So Squash Peas was sitting next to my opponent when they EX burst this at 5, right? And they're reading it, and I've read the first part of this, and I'm going, fine. Does that mean we trade? And like, why? I'm like, wait, is it fighting?
It's a punch.
And then, Squash Peas goes, no, it's a punch. And I'm like, wait, what? As I'm slowly putting the creature in the bin with my mouth open.
We're just asking the chat, where's the drawer card? Drawing a card is not a privilege that Earth gets access to. They already have too much search. They do not get access to drawing cards.
They already have color fixing and search in spades. Please no draw.
Yeah. No, that's why you run that's what you use Mist Dragon for if you want to draw a card.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like,
if you're listening to this, Square Enix, Hobby Japan, Earth does not get to have draw a card written on its text boxes.
Please.
Ever.
Again, you're too late. We have Mist Dragon. Again, too late. We have one. And it's already busted.
I don't care. I don't care. That's fine. You can have that one. That's okay. From here on out, no
more.
You can get stuff back from bin. You can get stuff back from bin. You can get stuff back from your deck. You're not allowed to draw a card. No.
So yeah, I had
not give permission.
I had a fun moment with this card. I had a stupidly fun moment. Like, wait, it's punch. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I did all
but
this.
On top of the card itself, it's fine.
Yeah, because I did all this work to damage that forward on attacking, hoping the next attack would get through. And then it says, oh, it's pumped by 3, so now you can't get through with your remaining attackers. Oh, I also kill that thing. And I'm like, oh my god. Oh, this is a good one. I really like this summon. Hey, another mannequin. 2-cost Lady of Antiquity. I misread this the first time, and I apologize to a few people. Wait, just print more Tyros, please. We have Tyro, and you can run 3 of them. It's fine. Mannequin backup.
No more Tyros.
No more Tyro, please.
Mannequin backup. The cost required to cast your lightning card named X-Death forward is reduced by 1. It cannot become 0. The cost required to cast your job mannequins can be paid with CP of any element. So, speaking of Tyros, we have a mannequin Tyro.
Delicious, this card is.
I freaked someone out once because they were asking me, they wanted to buy some Tyros off me, and I'm like, oh, I got plenty of them. They're pretty cheap. And like, wait, why is Tyro cheap? It's a heroic. I'm like, no,
it's a rare.
A rare. And the person just refused to believe me until I went there with the cards and gave it to them to sell them. And they're looking at me like, why is Tyro a rare?
Depends. Why is this a common?
Yeah.
Why
And
is any mannequin a common? Let's be honest.
And that's Shantotto, isn't it? That's actually Shantotto, isn't
Yeah,
it?
that is Toto, man.
Yes.
But this card is what makes mannequins insane.
Yes, this has turned the tables a lot alone as a backup. A 2-cost backup on that.
Yep.
So easily a turn 1 play.
Yeah. One that also reduces cost of your finisher, the X. Thankfully limited to lightning, so it doesn't work with death. Thank God.
Yeah.
And that would be really. I was about to comment on that. The fact that I had to specify lightning card name X-Death.
Yep.
It just no. You can't reduce the cost of your Neo. No.
Yeah, especially
No,
not
you do
on
not
a
have permission.
multiplay backup.
Yes, we are not going to have you drop 1-drop Neds. Get
No,
out.
Thank you.
Stop.
But what if... No, I'm joking. Don't what if this. Don't
Do
what
not
if
want.
this.
Okay.
If we what if this, then I'm going to grab every single copy of Neo XF that I find, including my own, and tear them to shreds.
No. I know what the what if would be. This was a boss card. The boss card would not have lightning written on it, just as it is.
Yeah.
That is an acceptable what if that I'm willing to look into, but nothing else.
No, I'll go you one better. Remove the lightning restriction and make it like Edge, so that it reduces cost by 1 as well.
To all mannequins.
For the mannequins. Yeah.
Oh god. Mannequin boss.
Oh no.
Oh
no,
god, mannequin boss deck.
I can do you one better on this one.
Don't,
Remove the text.
please.
It cannot become 0.
Yeah, that too.
We're making
Yeah,
it worse. Not
But either
better.
way, yeah, this card's
Amazing.
ludicrous.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy is absolutely brilliant. And if you're running mannequins, you're running 3 of this, no exceptions.
Yeah.
Yep, your build starts with 3 of this and 3 of
Then
another
up.
one.
Ingus, 2-cost backup. Choose one job standard unit forward or job warrior of light forward you control. Until end of turn, it gets plus 1k, power, and brave. You can only use this ability during your main phase. Earth Warrior of Light, I'd potentially put it in, but Earth Warrior Light is always followed by 2 other colors, so...
This one's actually not bad. Because
No, I don't think it's bad, I just...
Unlike the other ones, it doesn't have a cost. You just tap it.
Tap it, yeah.
It's
And
great.
one of the things that I've found that's kind of sort of held back Warriors of Light a bit is they aggro people out really well, but they can't counter aggro on the swing back unless because they always tap out to swing, right?
Yes.
With this, you can just go. My Aegis now has Brave. I'm going to punch you in the face.
Yeah.
My problem is with the...
Aegis is usually the biggest. Yeah,
My
Aegis is usually the biggest forward in play, so it just goes doink.
And on top of that, with the 3-color splash, the biggest problem for them is getting the Earth CP, and this is searchable by Refia, which makes it even better.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah. My problem wasn't with the card. I think the card's good. My problem is with the fact that I don't feel Warrior of... So, it'll come down to, will Warrior Light be Earth plus 1 color or plus 2 colors? If you can play this as maybe Water Earth Waff or Earth Fire... Sorry, Wall, I think this will be definitely in, but I still feel everyone will always default to Fire Water, with Earth being a potential 3rd or 4th color, and then this will start to suffer.
Well, just remember, Kryl is a Warrior of Light.
Yeah, you just go with the 3 colors.
Yeah, play this, play Kryl, play Tyra, and you're all good.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe a Toto.
Oh, because this will also give Kryl Brave, so if you can pump it to enough to go in,
Yeah.
attack with
Poke
Brave,
with
then
the-
tap
poke
it
with
and
the
grab a
Kryl.
summon. Okay, yeah. Alright, yeah, I like that.
Pretty good on that one.
So the
you have to
text
tap.
box on Ingus just got infinitely better the moment we discovered that Kryle was a warrior of light.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, like I said, the text box was amazing. It's just the color usage was my problem. But no, you use it for Cryle, which is a warrior of light that doesn't need warrior of lights, and you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Yeah, like I said, it was just dependent on the color feasibility. 2 cost Vanilli. Mini Vanilli is a 6k forward. Vanilli cannot attack or block. At the end of each of your turns, place 1 soul song counter on Vanilli. Remove 2 song counters from Vanilli. Choose 1 forward in your break zone, add it to your hand. Remove 4 counters from Vanilli. Choose 1 forward in your break zone, play it onto the field. I don't know. It's a monster. It's a 2-cost monster. It's not a forward. It's a monster that can be killed by forward removal.
So, like, why couldn't this just be a backup that doesn't activate?
Okay, so as a backup, this would probably be the most busted thing on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
The thing is, like, the biggest problem with this card is, like, all of it reads really, really well, right? The entire text box is bonkers. The only thing that this is going to be used as is as a fire magnet.
Yep.
And
This thing.
not even a particularly good fire magnet.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
every single thing that can kill this also improves board state.
Also,
Yep.
you're minimum waiting 2 turns to 4 turns. If they just beat at you during those 4 turns, they don't care how many forwards you're grabbing from your
Counters you get.
bin to hand or bin to field. If you've put them to 4 or 5 damage by the time this card's done its job.
Like, the best you could potentially see this as is like a turn late Kusith.
Yeah.
And at that point, I prefer running Kusith.
Yeah.
Hell, I prefer running the 5-cost monster.
It's Luminous Puma as well, yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather play Luminous Puma.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. Like, this card basically just it basically is a card that just says, I'm special fodder for the Opus 7 hero.
It's the Lail from last set. Like, it has a cool effect, but it takes too long to charge.
Also, hard countered by Sid FFCC.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. Look, if someone can find a way to twist this, like I was hoping someone would find a way to twist Lail last set, good on you, but I feel you either got to do a lot of work to make this feasible, or we need maybe late support of add counters to something down the road that'll make this and that Lail do stuff more, but at this point I'm like, I tried it out, I put it in the deck, and immediately I went, nah, going back out.
Yeah, no.
It was
just an unfortunate...
Yeah. 3-cost Graph. We have Mobius cards now, gentlemen. 7-cost forward. At the beginning of your attack phase during each of your turns, all the Earth forwards and category Mobius forwards you control get 2k power until end of turn. It has a special. 1 Earth. All the forwards you control gain plus 5k power until end of turn. Draw a card. Hey, Rob!
Oh, no.
They did the thing!
Draw a card.
I've been sitting here waiting for this because I remember this card when you said don't give a plus or draw a card.
No Earth with draw power.
And I'm like, wait, doesn't Graph do that? Oh, this is gonna be fun. It's a special, so they compromised for you.
Even still,
this is an acceptable compromise because I don't see this card being played very much.
I also think that this is the only Graph card in the entire game at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, so at most you could do it twice if you're lucky and want to discard 2 Graphs down the road. So you're discarding a Graph to draw a card and pump your board. Which isn't bad,
I guess it's interesting because it's a warrior, so Hugo can search for it.
Just about to say that, yes. Like, it's an Earth card that's searchable by Hugo. Always fun.
The only thing I thought...
Again, at the same time, why am I running this card again?
Yeah,
I mean... Oh, sorry, go on.
If you're going pure Water Earth Mobius, maybe, but even then it's a bit sketch.
But you don't need to go Pure Earth Water Mobius. It's like this card basically says I am great in titles.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Nothing
I was
else.
gonna say, where's Jonathan for his Mobius title deck? This probably will help that, but that's all I could think of.
Although, do you really want to be making BFA and Ned 12k title? That can't be dealt with anyway.
It's saying that Ned is banned in titles, so
Okay, but still BFA, Cloud of Darkness, for Sawyer, just about random cards.
oh, true. It's really funny when they all get to be big.
They're already big.
So,
They don't
yeah.
need this dude.
No. They need it. It's fine. It's fine. I need to trade. I need to trade off my I need my BFA to not be able to trade with the other person's BFA.
Okay, it's yeah, like that. I was gonna say the only relevant thing on this is plus 2k to stuff at start of combat, and it's not even all the stuff. It's these two things.
It
Though
does pump himself though, which is kind of handy.
It pumps himself by
9K,
4, doesn't it?
By 2. It's Earth and Mobius, not separate.
Okay, that's what I was checking. That's exactly what I was checking. It's so it's Earth and Mobius, so it only does it once per lot. Okay, cool. I was gonna say, would it pump an Earth Mobius by 2? By 4?
We've also got mentioned in the chat, good with Sophie. We'll get to her. I have a lot to say.
Yeah, she feels like the chase card currently in the set.
I think we both do, Rob. We both.
Alright, next, the good girl. 2 cost Charlotta backup. If Charlotta's on the field, Charlotta can produce CP of any element of forwards you control. There's just better options for Rainbow, but I feel this can be very useful in heavy color decks.
I mean, play this, play Yuri. I have a Rainbow backup.
Yeah, that's.
I was initially high on it
FFCC.
because of
It's
that,
FFCC.
but at the same time, though, I can understand. Like, don't get me wrong, I can understand like the good points about it, but
There's
until you've done anything, until you've done anything at all, this card is just an Earth backup. It's an evoker until you have other stuff in play.
Yeah.
And until I don't want to have an advanced board state before I can think about going, oh, I need to do wind CP, for example. I guess I can do that. If this said characters, then I'd be a lot higher on it. But
yeah, because you could play
this
into a Tyro or into some. Yeah. No, I
into Shen.
Yeah, I like having. I'll be honest. I like having this as an option. I just don't think it's the option right now. I just like it being there. That's how I feel for this card.
The most relevant thing is the category.
Yeah.
Yeah. But FFCC already has a bunch of good Earth backups, so even that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I like it exists. I like we have the card, but Earth does this and more. And we're on the Earth Archfiend. Oh, sorry. Go on. Before we move on.
I just said, next.
Next.
Two
now
costs.
we're on the Earth Archfiend.
Yep. 2 costs Scaramiglion. 3 cost forward. Back attack. First strike. When it enters the field, choose 1 forward during this turn. If it's dealt damage, double that damage instead. If it deals damage, sorry. No, it's dealt damage. Oh, I was right. If it's dealt damage, double the... Okay, so you do this to an opponent forward. Okay. So this is pretty funny with either the sack burn stuff or with what's it called? The fire card. Why am I blanking on names? Yeah. The fire Archfiend in this set.
Rubicante.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hot take. Barb Scam is the new Alcid Onion.
Yep. Though to be honest, I would not search this out with Golbears. I would not want to search this out or play it with Barb. I want this in my hand.
Yeah, that's the big thing. But on that note, so if people be playing Opus 8 Zidane a lot, this hard counters it.
It does.
Yeah.
Just first strike it.
Yeah, so I I would not want to cheat this in. I would not want to try and do anything cheap. I want it in my hand with an earth, with an ability to cast it, play other stuff, see what my opponent does, respond if I need to get value.
Yeah. Like,
Like
if
this
you're gonna
reads like you remember Junai from like
yeah,
who knows
Jinai
how
from
many
Opus
sets
8
ago?
is pretty
Yeah,
good.
this basically reads exactly like that card.
I see it as the back attack edge in Earth.
Could be that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this
So-
isn't the one you cheat into play, it's the Opus 3.
Yeah.
You Golbez out the Opus 3 Scar, and then you have this one in hand to just go gotcha,
Living
or
Dead.
use a special for the other one. You go, "Mwahaha!"
Or you could just
And bring it all
Golbez,
back.
or you just Golbez in another Earth 2 cost that's just good in the deck, because you don't have to just get Arc Fiends with the Golbez search. You get 2 costs, so this
Yeah.
could be there for the synergy, but you have other options. And if you're running 5 color, you search the other colors and you keep this one in reserve. So you're not forced to use this on any level with Golbez for value unless you want to, or it's your only option and you don't want to lose the value.
Yeah.
It works either way. You just use it the way you need to use it. It is the toolbox it's one of the toolboxes of the deck.
Hmm.
I'm really glad I got this in full art.
You basically think of this as like a spanner.
Yeah.
Like,
Fixes things when you need it.
Yeah, next card.
fine card.
Yeah, it's amazing. The Arc Fiends have been really good in this. 3 cost Cecil. 7k forward. When Cecil enters the field, you may receive 1 point of damage. When you do so, choose 1 forward opponent controls. Cecil and the chosen forward deal damage equal to their respective powers to each other. Damage 3, Cecil gets plus 1k power and brave. Other stuff do it better. I rather the other Cecils. That's my take on this one.
This one isn't bad
Yeah.
because
it's actually kind of
it's not damage dependent about breaking things. It feeds into the Legend Dark Knight Cecil, as well as providing special fodder for it. It's actually not that bad a card.
But do you want to commit to multiple Cecils in a deck? That's what I'm saying. Like, I would just pick... I wouldn't want to run 3 of both. I would rather run 3 of the other or 3 of this, and the other one feels better to me.
Honestly, it's a 2-2 split.
Yeah.
2-2 split, you think?
I think that's relevant.
Yeah, it's a 2-2 split. Here's the reason why. If you want to kill things early game, you play the 3-drop Cecil. If you want to kill things late game, you play the 5-drop Cecil.
Okay, so you're saying it would be good to commit to more than 3 Cecils in the deck? Because that's where I was saying I wouldn't want to do it. Okay, no.
Yeah, like you do it as a 2-2 split, because then you've actually got enough special fodder if you've got the big Cecil in play and you want to dark something. But you're not forced into, like doing things you don't necessarily want to do. And again, this also doesn't stop you from bursting.
And also, mid-game being a 3-cost 8k break, maybe killed something, that's really good value.
Alright. I'm happy to be proven wrong. I just felt like I would not want to run 4 Cecils in a deck, personally.
The only issue with this Cecil right now is that the big Cecil isn't seeing much play.
Yeah.
Like, there's obviously those decks that want to deal themselves a whole bunch of damage and blah, 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 blah. But the card sort of seems... It's in its element and out of its element at the same time. Which sounds really weird, don't get me wrong, but...
No, that's what I'm feeling. Like, that's exactly what I'm feeling about the card.
It's... Like, it does its job. It does one job, and it does that job really, really well, which is clear out a small thing early game. But then it's sort of like... You get to the point where it's kind of like, I want this to die so I can play the bigger one.
Yeah.
But if your opponent knows that, they won't kill this one. So then you start sort of playing the game of, do I trade? Do I do this? Do I do that? Which, it's a fine game to play. It's sort of like how well can you bluff your opponent into killing this Cecil, so then you can just slam the big one and just like, gotcha.
Toward that end, even if they don't kill it, you can just go, cool, poke for 8. Poke for 8, I can still block.
Yeah.
Yeah, at damage 3, that's what makes it also extremely relevant as well. Like, Like as a 3-drop AK Brave that hackers something on entry,
It's
it's really nice. But you don't want to play this late game. You want to play the other one.
It also opens the way. Actually, it actually opens the way to Earth Fire damage deck.
So, Cat 7 without any of the Cat 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I think Fire Lightning actually does the self-damage thing a bit better at the moment. But
yeah, but this sort of is beginning to put more better cards into that concept and that idea. Which could be fun, I think. Especially if you're going
it's a good discussion point.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying.
It's a good discussion point.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's like going to be the deck or our deck. I'm just saying it's got an opening. A foot's in the door.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Next one, 4 cost Yurg. 8k forward. If you control an FFCC character other than Hugot, it gets Brave. Why is there more FFCC cards? Why is there more FFCC cards that don't need to exist and don't matter?
Black Belt called. He wants his
job back.
Yeah, that too.
Oh god, this bastard. Oh god. Hi, squashed peas.
Hi, how you doing?
The card that in 2 turns took away a win from me.
Yup.
I was winning that game. You were on the back foot. You had nothing left. You were dead
Ladies
in the
and
water.
gentlemen.
And then you went, hey, look, I opened this heroic. And I'm like, wait, legend, right? No, heroic.
Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, it's not just the king of limited, it's the god of limited. He even says so in his job title.
Yep. Now, Bruni Velis, 10 cost, 10k, god, forward. The cost required to cast is reduced by 2 for each backup of different elements you control other than multi-element. Damage 3, gets Brave and attacks twice. Damage 6, attack, choose one character, break it. You were on 5 damage!
Yep. So, I cannot sing the praises of this card in limited enough. See it in draft if you are playing it 100%.
You change colors and splash because it works in multicolor. That's the point. You open
even as a 4-cost 10k, this card is brutal.
This is a card you can open in pack 4 of a draft. Go, I'm not in Earth, but good, it's in my colors.
Yep. And the only, real, consistent way to deal with it is in Ice, which is Laguna. And even then, if you resolve this early enough and deal with the Laguna, it's what can you even do? But in Constructed, it's kind of mid.
Yeah. Like any other...
Constructed is really, really average. You need to be a damage 3 for this thing to swing twice. There's actually a card in the set that does its own, this card's job better.
Not only is it the bottom of the 10k ones, I would say it's the bottom of the 9ks as well.
But that being said, this is a 10 cost for Sawyer, and it's not completely irrelevant like Arc is.
Yeah.
So you use it for what it is and not for what it does.
Yeah, the multicolor for Sawyer deck might be able to do some cheeky stuff with this. But it also means what do you take out for it? Because that deck is already pretty much...
Well, the thing is, Gacha would actually go under a massive overhaul because of everything. You can't build Gacha like you did in Opus 9 anymore.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. But I still feel even with that, you're going to be looking at a long list with this in that very, very long list going, what do I do now? But I'm, again, willing to be proven wrong. Had fun dying to this thing and losing first place because of it.
Yep. God of Limited.
Yeah.
And Constructed.
You just drew it off with 2 cards and just went, play it, die.
Yep.
I'll be honest. I played against somebody in pre-release who pulled 2 of these.
Oh.
And, I won that game.
Yeah.
Oh, it's not absolutely destroy your opponent loses now, but it is it makes you work, and it can come from nowhere, sort of just surprise sucker punch you also.
But yeah,
I mean,
I'll agree.
yeah, don't get me wrong. Like the card seems fine once you're at damage 6, but if you're
Well,
at
in
damage
limited, you
6,
can't go to damage 6. Limited, you go to 5, so
well,
damage 6 doesn't
yeah,
exist.
even in constructed, like
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
it reads like an extremely powerful card once you hit 6.
Yeah.
Anytime before that, it's just a black.
It's
No,
just
I agree.
vanilla. Like,
Yeah, I agree. In constructed, it's yeah. But if you're drafting and you see this, I would heavily recommend grab it and tweak towards it a little bit, because it will be cheaper
be
if you're playing
very
other colors.
Yeah, it will be very interesting to see if this ends up getting added to the cube. But even
yeah.
then, in cube, there's so many better options.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a bit awkward.
Well, we're also speaking that when we're talking about limited, we're talking about Opus 13 restricted as well. Like
Yeah,
we're
but
talking about limited specifically for that. So cube,
like,
yeah, I agree with that.
considering what considering what they're doing with like major events going forwards with the whole way doing cube. I'll wait to see if this enters the cube before I think about building this in limited. In constructed, nah.
Yeah.
Alright, next card. 5 cost Monk. The cost required to cast Monk is reduced by 1 for each job Monk and card name Monk you control. It cannot become 0, 8k forward. I haven't played Monk in so long, and I actually didn't enjoy playing Monks, to be honest. But I know people love it. I know it's a thing with Yang Ursula. It's got some cool, interesting stuff, but does this matter? Especially since you can't cheat it in with the new Ursula?
Well, that's the fun part, because it doesn't specify forwards. It's another one of those cards that can get down to, in this case, 1 cost for all your backup monks, and there's a lot of backup monks.
So each backup monk taps for 2 for it. Okay, I didn't notice that. So each backup monk taps 2 for it, essentially.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't mind its cheap cost. I don't mind a 0 cost 8k, but aren't there better forward monks that you'd rather have in the deck that have more interaction with Yang Ursula? Or is this just something you play that's cheap that you can sack to Ursula to do tricks?
Pretty much.
It's one of those cards where, like, because all of the forward monks have names, right?
Yeah.
This is a monk where you can play it, but you can play another one of it beside it, and you don't mind. Like, it's just another way to get down very cheap, pretty sizable bodies, and it's in the right job to just have all of the buffs in the world. So it's it's never just an 8k.
Yeah, it's a similar vein to Dragoons. Like, Monks is one of the most relevant standard unit card names, and each one that comes out should be given a second look.
Alright, so treat this like the cost reduction Dragoon, essentially.
Yeah, only fair.
Only fair. Alright, no, I can see that. Just like I said, I haven't had experience with monks too much, and I didn't know if just the vanilla side to potentially sack to Ursula was good enough to replace another monk in that deck. Speaking of monks, I actually haven't seen this one. 3 cost Yang, 7k forward monk. Damage 1. When Yang enters the field, you may play 1 job monk or card name monk from your hand onto the field. So there's no cost restriction to that. You can play the most expensive one. You can drop that 5 cost even. Okay. Damage 3. Yang gains this job monk forward and card name monk forwards you control get plus 1k power and brave. Is it better than the
this is exactly what I was talking about with, like, monks are never just their base power. This gang actually, and just to sort of answer your question before you ask it, yes, this replaces the Opus 3 Yang.
Okay.
Yep.
Because it doesn't just play Ursula, it plays any monk.
Yeah. Now,
and any monk includes your backups.
Yeah. Now, counterpoint. Does this replace Opus 9?
That's where I was also going.
Opus 9 Yang?
The one that gives
It-
a monk 2k brave and on attack deal damage equal to its power.
I would probably say yes.
I mean, they're
Like
both.
in a dedicated monk deck, you probably do want the other Yang.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like this Yang now says you don't have to play dedicated monks to play monks.
Yeah.
You can
Which is super
smash them.
So could
Yeah.
you possibly
And,
go
yeah.
2-2
That-
split?
If you're going
Uh,
dedicated monks, you probably do go with a split. If
Yeah,
you're
that's
not
fine.
going dedicated monk, then you don't need that. Then you don't need to split. You just run this Yang, and then you just run I've like one of the decks that I've built is a quote unquote monk deck, and it's only running 15 monks.
Yeah. Like, it's certainly doable.
Yeah.
And, damage 1, you'll probably start the game on damage 1, let's be fair.
Exactly.
Well,
Like
if
you
you,
got
if you spend the first few turns
solely
building your backups and
dedicated
take 1 damage, then this is free cost.
It's cool.
Nah, alright.
so it's not that hard to see this getting a whole bunch of play.
Yeah.
And the text that says all of your monks getting 1k and brave, that's super relevant too.
Yeah. Also
But
includes himself.
Exactly, it pumps himself. It pumps all of the monks around him, and that's why I was saying a monk is never just its base power.
Hold on.
Never.
Does that mean if you use the card that turns backups into forwards, they will have plus 1k power and brave
Yes.
as
Yeah,
backup
would
They have
monks?
card named monk.
Yep.
Don't do this, but it's funny.
No, do this because it's funny.
Yes.
Well, isn't it a... Wait, what color is that card that does that? It's not Earth, though. That's the way
It's water.
It's water, yeah, that's the, that's why I'm saying don't bother with it. The Rydia arts have all confused me because they all look the same to me. Even the promo Japanese one. Why is there only one art of this character and nothing else? 6 cost Rydia, backup. When Rydia enters the field, place 1 summon counter on Rydia. Remove 1 summon counter from Rydia, cast 1 summon other than light or dark from your hand without paying its cost. Tap, choose 1 summon. If it deals damage to a forward this turn, the damage increases by 1k instead.
Very, very, very high initial cost,
Yeah,
but the ceiling on this card is actually pretty high.
yeah.
It's just that what summons are you going to be running?
Yeah. It's
actually, here's a better question. What summons are you going to be running that want this Rydia instead of the Legend Rydia?
Yeah, because, oh, cool, I get to cast Bahamut or Raiden off of this. Opus 9 Rydia can already do that, and it also gives you board presence, and costs 1 less.
Also, this is the thing that does this for me. It's not a tap effect, it's a remove counter effect. You could be tapped out on the field, have the summon in hand, they do something, you remove the counter and do it. You're not dependent on it being untapped. And you're not dependent on it being summoning sickness or not. You play it and can do it immediately if you wish.
Again, very true, but at the same time, it's a counter, and Sid FFCC says hello.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you play this and don't have a summon in hand, expecting to drop later, no.
Yeah. But on that note, if you do have it in hand and they do that, you respond by doing your thing.
Yeah.
Oh, of course.
Also,
Absolutely, I agree with that. It's just, why?
yeah, the biggest issue I have is that all the summoner support only works with forwards, like Unalesca only cost reduces for forwards, Ico only searches forwards, and you already have a really good Rydia forward. So I can't see it getting very far, but I'd like to be proof.
It's tech. It's tech. You need to be in the right deck doing the right stuff, and this will either go in smoothly or you'll have to move on and, I wouldn't force this. It has to work initially.
But here's the thing, though. Even if we're talking about backup Rydias, why aren't you just using the 3-drop one that searches for any summon?
Yeah, or the 4-drop one that recycles an Earth summon if you're running a bunch of Earth summons.
Yeah. it's got to be the right card for the right place, or you go for the other ones or don't bother. But I do think there is a lot of potential for this. Like I said, the wording on it is the wording on it in terms of value is very powerful. Like I said, I just love the fact that you don't have to tap it to use the ability. It doesn't have to be untapped to use the ability. And again, if we eventually get support for adding or multiplying counters on stuff, maybe.
Honestly, considering this and another card we'll talk about later, I don't think we will.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
At least not for characters.
Yeah. But like I said, we'll see. I still think you're both right, but I want to keep an eye on that one for a bit. 4 cost Litley, FFCC, 7k forward. So this is a part of the FFCC multi 3-color cycle. This one says if you used Ice to cast it, opponent discards a card. If you used Lightning, if you use Lightning, break it. Choose one forward of cost 2 or less, break it. If you use Lightning. Sorry, the wording on that one kind of confused me. Same as the other cards, I assume. Tech if you needed FFCC, but otherwise.
Right. It's okay purely because it has discard a card written on it, so it makes your opponent produce negative value. That's the main thing, the main edge about this particular card.
Yeah.
It sets it a bit higher than some of the other ones, but at the same time, it's sort of just it's there.
Yeah. It does help that Ice has searchable. So that's a thing you can do.
Sorry, Ryan, you cut out there. What were you saying? Searchable what?
Sorry. Searchable Earth CP plan?
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, so... Alright, we've moved to our king. 1 cost Leo. 3k forward. When Leo enters the field, place 1 kingdom counter on Leo for each FFCC character you control. Pay 1 Dullim, remove X king counters from Leo, choose 1 forward other than card name Leo, light or dark in your break zone. If its cost is X, play it onto the field. You can only use this ability during your turns and once per turn. So it's
okay. I have my
FFCC.
opinions on this card, but I'll let you guys go first because I don't know whether or not they'll differ.
I was gonna say it's an FFCC of the wall card. Because it says character, so it includes both the backups and the forwards. Downside is you pay 1 instead of just tapping it. And it's, of course, a 3k. But I kind of like it. I really like it, to be honest. I don't know where I would put it or how I would run it, but I like the card.
Okay, so here's the reason why I think this card is actually incredibly bonkers, right? What's the cost?
1, yeah.
Yeah. The 1 cost. You want to know what happens to work with 1 cost and give them haste?
And searches for him with a wind backup?
And a party.
Yeah. The gears are turning. The gears are turning. This card is and even better. You only ever realistically, you're only ever removing 1 counter at a time because all you do is just get back White Mage or something or Suzuhisa.
Yeah.
Get back White Mage to protect your forward. Get back Suzuhisa to draw cards. Get back K-Sith to dull things.
Also, even though you can only use it once per turn, you have ways of untapping him as well.
Yeah. It can certainly be done. A lot of people were like, oh, but it is worse Lena. Worse Lena is not bad.
No. Well,
worse Lena is still amazing.
I wouldn't say it's a worse Lena, I would say it's a different Lena. It has upsides and downsides. It's a different Lena.
Another thing to make point of as well, because it specifically says FFCC character, it's always getting 1 counter at least because it counts itself.
Yeah. And it also just happens to be, a King 1 cost FFCC, as is mentioned in chat.
Yeah, like I said, even if it say you do consider it a worse Lena, it's a worse Lena for FFCC.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Which-
Stiltskin.
Like,
Yeah, Stiltskin. Like I was trying to hesitate talking about this card when Stiltskin came up because this is the one I was thinking of. But yeah, you search for it. It's got upsides. The light or dark in your break zone doesn't really matter, so you can't hit your one Yuri.
Oh no, whatever
Oh,
will
no.
we do?
And the fact
I'll
is,
just bring
yeah, and it's choose one forward, not choose one FFCC forward.
FFCC.
Is it one FFCC
Yeah.
forward other than card link? Remove
No,
X counters.
choose
No,
a
it's
forward
just
other
straight
than
up one forward.
Then card named
Yeah,
Leo,
forward.
light or dark. Yeah, so you can target non-FFCC forwards, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Like, this card is actually just brilliant, and like, again, like, to me, the most important part of the card is the fact that it costs 1, because then you don't even need to play Earth CP with it. You could just slip it straight into the Bard's party deck and just go, cool.
I now
I
have
don't.
Wrath
I-
Protection.
I now have reanimation
yeah,
in my
Well-
Bart's party deck, which is a deck which is constantly. Like, imagine recurring Bocco. That you go
Yeah.
to Bart's, somebody just kills your Bocco. You just go, cool. Here's my Leo, reanimates my Bocco, and
Bop,
you just do it
swing.
all over again.
and I don't think this one works just as well, but it's still an idea. If you're playing the Wind Earth FFCC Infinite Draw, you have ways to recur a card you've discarded early part of the combo to get it back.
Hmm.
Once, yeah, but
But
that's
then-
all you need to draw your deck.
At that point, though, if you've already drawn your deck, you have everything you need,
no, but I mean,
including
like-
the boosters to get
but-
back
but-
all the cards. So
but I mean, it
it's
can
not
replace. I mean, it can add. It could give more consistency to getting your pieces.
To be fair, in loop you'd want to run the other King because that gives you fixing as well as protection against Shemazai.
Yeah, actually, that's actually really true. Yeah, I was just thinking because most of that loop deck runs FFCC backups, so it's usually going to enter with 4.
Hmm.
So
But,
it
you know,
actually can get Ritz potentially back if you've lost it.
Poultry also runs a bunch of FFCC backups. Style
Yeah,
and
Poultry will
Stiltskin,
love this.
Sid FFCC. Like, this is coming in with minimum 4 counters.
easily.
Well, that's why I was thinking Ritz exactly because Ritz. Yeah, I'm going. This is entering minimum 4.
Yeah, just brings back whatever you need.
Yeah. So we went from a shit playing card to a really good one.
Yep.
Alright, we're back to the next part of the cycle of the reverse backups. 3-cost backup Alchemist. Earth searches for ice or wind. Again, you're fixing for those colors, trying to search for one of those colors. It's part of that cycle. Moving on.
We don't need to say much more.
No, you could play Mark.
No! I have
God
to,
damn,
like they're dragging him into with the straight jacket on into the back. No, I have things to say!
Monocolor everything, mushroom.
And we've gone from the Earth one straight into the Lightning one, which searches Wind Earth. We're gonna skip that now. Same reason.